Welcome back to the workbench where uncut and unedited, a guy, me, tries to make things. And what we're making right now is a Wacky Races diorama. We're using two different kits. In fact, we're going to be looking at the two kits today. Let me move these out of the way and we can see where we're at with Dick Dastardly's Mean Machine. So I finished painting, or I painted the top of the body. I guess the body's kind of a clamshell. I did the top part here. I've got it loosely placed so we can kind of take a look what it's gonna look like. Now it's loosely placed because I still need to paint. Well, the cone just fell off. I still need to paint this front section here, the lighter color purple. But we can kind of take a look. It's very carefully just kind of placed together here. We can kind of get a look what this is gonna look like, and I think it's gonna look pretty cool. Still got to, let me put the nose cone back on here. And you can kind of see that adds that little bit of color. We'll have that little lighter purple color here. We've got the, I guess it's a roll bar fin kind of thing that's going to go here. I still need to paint. This needs to get painted out the same color as the nose cone. Same with this there's a little fin guy here that goes right up front, right up here. But I'm going to have to wait to put all that together because, like I said, I still need to paint this front. Let me show, in case y'all haven't seen, that front is actually this kind of lighter color purple here. So I've got to paint that yet, but I just wanted to see how it's going to look with the interior in there. And I think I still like the black interior. I think that looks good, or at least leaving all the interior black along with the trim around. And then once the figures are in there, they'll really kind of, I think they'll kind of pop. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments, but I think that's the case. We've got all these little rivets around it. And with the picture that I'm kind of going off of, those are all silver. So I need to paint all these rivets silver all around. There's rivets all here. There's rivets here. So I've got to just do little dots of silver. So that's going to be some tedious work I'll do off camera. But I've got to do that. And that's about all that's other than Dick and Muttley, the two little characters themselves. That's all that's pretty much left on the Mean Machine. So what I wanted to do now is bring over Penelope's, her compact Pussycat. Let me move this stuff out of the way. So we've got the kind of bottom tub for her vehicle. And then I went ahead, or I finished the bodywork and I've sprayed it pink. So now we can look. If you remember right, there used to be holes on either side here. Actually, not just holes, but there was a raised portion, like a big bump up here with a hole in it where you would put a twist tie. We've shaved all that down, did the body work. You can see where I've got a patch on the back side, and then we just filled it, and it looks pretty good. I think that looks real good, actually. I'm very happy with how that turned out. If you want to get caught up on how we did that, check the playlist down in the description. You can go back, like the last two episodes, I think pretty much we covered the body work on this. But yeah, I think it turned out real nice. Now there's a bunch of paint that has to happen on this. In fact, let's grab the picture here. And that's what we're going to work on today a little bit, is figuring out how to get this paint done. So basically we've got a bunch of yellow. So these fenders, the fender, yeah, it looks like the fender. Yeah, this fender up front, kind of into the running board here. It's kind of hard to tell how the yellow, well, you can't even see what I'm pointing at. The fender goes down, the yellow on the fender goes down through into the running board. So I guess we'll just kind of figure out how we're going to terminate that yellow. We'll probably just, we'll follow this line and then off the running board here. That all needs to be yellow. These scallops, if you can see what I'm pointing at, these scallops here are actually a darker color pink, which I don't have anything. Oh, yeah, I do. It's the color of the wheels. I should say the tires. So the color of the tires are this color, or these scallops here. So we got to get those painted. And then I've also got to do the black around the headlights and the eyelashes. So basically, I guess it's like mascara. And then the eyelashes, that's black. The windshield hoop and around is yellow. But and I've actually got it downstairs. But the interior is, the edge around the interior is yellow. So we're going to have this yellow and then a red around that edge. Kind of same way that Dick's interior works, how it has this edge that sits on the body like so. That's going to be yellow for her car. And then we've got these fins and things here that are also going to be yellow, which are actually right here. So that's something, the last thing we still need to put together, along with the parasol. I should have looked that word up. I believe it's called a parasol. The umbrella. And the steering wheel. But yeah, so basically there's still a good bit left we've got to do on the compact Pussycat here. Oh, and here's something else I wanted to talk about. So, you know, we've talked about, and again, go check previous episodes if you want to get caught up on this, but we've talked about the diorama itself and how we're going to do that and how we're going to make that a combination of realism and cartoon, if that makes sense. That brings me to what I want to talk about on the color scheme. So things like, you know, well, obviously there's black line, right? So like the wheels have a black circle and a black circle. So, and then the scallops have an outline of black. So my question is, do I need to try to do that, mimic that on these cars, put the black lines around the wheels, you know, around the the graphics, I guess you would call it that, around the scallops. You know, do we paint in? I know there's kind of that, what is that, paint scheme or whatever that they use a lot on Gundams and that kind of stuff. And they're doing it on full-size cars too, where they literally paint in the black line. And to me, that it can be overdone and it kind of looks overdone. But we're at color breaks, I'm thinking about putting in the black, which I don't know if I would do it with a brush or if I just get a black paint pen. I'm not sure how I want to do it yet, or if it's something we even want to do. So I was going to kind of get you out there, your opinion, get the people's opinion down in the comment. You know, is that something we should try to do all these black outlines, like, you know, outline all the different things, the color breaks essentially, that need to be done, just like in the cartoon. I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think down in the comments as far as that goes. But what we need to do now, and what I thought we could do, I don't want to mess with this body too much at the moment because I just painted it this morning, and I don't want to upset the paint. It's still a little bit soft, but what I did want to do is try to work out getting these scallops down the hood. So the fenders have definitive lines where we can, you know, where we're going to paint. And then these scallops on the side are obviously definitive as to where the paint needs to go. But on the hood, there were actually molded in scallops on the hood, but I removed those because they were real wide. They're like as wide as the hood. And it looks like to me in the cartoon, it's much narrower. It starts narrow and then it works itself wide. So I thought we would try to just do this ourselves. And the way I think I'm going to do it, do I have a pin? I do have a pin. Now I don't want to touch the car too much, so that could make this a little bit difficult. What I want to do, let me see, we're going to go from here, if I can get this pin to work, down here. Okay, so let me see if I can kind of just draw. I'm going to look at the picture. They've got 1, 2, 3, kind of 4 scallops. So it kind of goes maybe 1. We're going to try this and see what happens. 2, 3. Let's just go with something like this. I'm going to try to get them as round and smooth as I can. What I thought I would do, I'll just extend it out, bring it over. I don't know. We'll see if this works. I'm going to cut this out. Let me just rough cut it here, like so. And then let me see. Now the plan is to try to cut these nice and smooth. Yeah, that's the plan. And I think if I cut and pull at the same time, it's kind of like using a shear with metal. If I kind of cut and pull at the same time, I think I can get it smooth. We'll see how this turns out. And then we'll see how this works on the body of the car. So now let's pretend like, so this would be our yellow, and it would sit. Can we make that work, or is it too... Well, we lost one scallop, but I don't think that's a huge deal. I think it could sit just like that. And then, of course, we would have this side also with the exact same tape. Actually, I think I kind of like how that ends on a scallop there. I think that'll be... And I kind of want to work it further up the hood anyways. I think that'll work like that. We'll come just to the... We've got the center line of what is actually the lips bumper. So there's this bumper that's going to be sitting here. Like that, right here. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yeah. Right here. So I think we'll start the point, the scallop up here at the windshield, and then we'll run it over down the front. I can feel this paint is definitely still soft, so I don't want to mess with this too much. But kind of like that. I think even we'll run it from the corner here and then in like that. And then it'll be the same on both sides. So what we can do now, I think, the way that I would do this, and we're going to just kind of do some pretending. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Oh, and I didn't bring my tape up here, did I? Oh, that's a problem. Do I have any that I can use as an example? I tell you what, I'm going to have to run down. It's actually out at the spray booth. Let me go grab my tape real quick, and I'll be right back. I'll show you my idea how to finish working out the masking for these scallops. I'll be right back. All right. Now, my thought is, now that I've got my tape here, what we could do, well, let me lay that a little flatter. Let's see. Can you guys see? Yeah, okay. And I could just transfer this to the tape like so. Now that we know this is, I think it's a good shape. You guys let me know, because I'm not going to actually, I'm not actually going to paint this till probably this evening, because I really want this. I want the paint on the body to be nice and dry before I stick tape on it. And when I say dry, I really mean cured. I want it to, I don't want to put any impressions into the paint. So it won't be till this evening that I actually do this. So this is just like a practice run, we could say right now. So if you think it needs some changes, where is my X-Acto knife? I hope I have that up here. Have I left everything out in the garage? Probably have. Do I not have another X-Acto knife around somewhere? You know what I can do? Give me 2 seconds, so I don't have to run downstairs again. I'll just grab a blade like so. And then the idea is we just cut this out very carefully. We could make sure our scallops look good here. This is where it would be nice. What would be nice is to have it. I need to look at get one, like having a Cricut or one of those vinyl cutters, because then I could cut my masking out and it would be exact. In other words, I could do an exact copy of this both ways. So what I could do, would you just say cut it like this, I guess, and then this would be, actually, this would be the tape for this side. No. Yes. Right? Yeah. That would, and I'd start it way up there. Is that how we wanted to do that? Or would I want it to go this way? I don't know if I think we would go this way. Now, I'm not sticking this. We're just pretending here. But I would stick it just like that. And I think that would look good. Can you guys see how that's going to look? Like that. So let's pretend like this is the body now down here. So this would go on this side. And then I should be able to just run another piece of tape. This is where it'd be nice to have just some kind of vinyl cutter, like a Cricut or something to that effect. Where did my template go? Here it is. Right, so this one needs to go this way, right? Right? Is that right? Yeah, this way. And I'll have to do, again, trace it out. I'm going to do this kind of quickly because this isn't the final product, so it doesn't have to be exact. We're just getting the idea of how this is going to work and if it's going to work. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. As you've noticed, most everything I do, I just kind of make up as I go. So let's see. how this is going to work here. We'll quickly just kind of cut our scallops. I wonder if I cut, you know what I might do? Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab either some styrene or maybe just some cardboard, I think, some cardstock. And I'll cut the scallops out of some something hard, some like cardstock. And then use that so that I can copy them. I want them to be exact, both sides. So I think that'll be the way to do that. And then this will be our masking. And I'll probably cut it much thinner so I can place it where I want. But anyways, and it's going to kind of sit. I don't know how it's going to, as for pretending this is the body, it's going to sit something kind of like, and that is backwards. That's backwards. I am an idiot. This is backwards, right? Because then my well, I don't know why I couldn't see it until I put two of them down. Obviously, my scallops are the wrong direction. This is why this is why I do it before. I need to go. I need to use this one as my template. So I need to cut these this way. We want scallops, not bubbles or bulges or whatever it would be. So yeah, we need to cut it like this. Is that right? Yeah. So I need to use this one as the template. Interesting. Okay. And then, obviously this would go this way. We'll just pretend like I'm using it. It'll go, whoops. It'll go this way. Like that. Nope, wrong one. Leave that. Leave that. Take this. There we go. Now we have scallops going that way. Okay, so this is my template. So this is what I'll work off of. In fact, let me move these out of the way now that we've got that figured out. Now, you get to watch me think out loud. That's kind of what these videos are about. I'm just, like I say, I'm just a guy trying to figure this stuff out. So we're going to use this as the template. And I think I actually, don't I have some cardstock or something down here? Hold on just a second. That's way too thick. Let me try this. Oh, no, this is thick styrene too. I've got a bunch of thick styrene. I could use, you know what? I've got this the thin styrene that I used to patch the back side of that. This might be a good thing to actually use to make our template that we'll use to cut the tape with. Yeah. So let's where'd my pen go? Let's try this real quick. And this is correct. This is the one that we wanted to use. So I'm going to kind of just trace it, but we want these to be right. So let me just trace it, and then I'm going to look at it and make sure it's kind of what we want. We'll come off like that and off like this. See, I don't know if I'm too crazy. Like this scallop needs to be kind of here. This one needs to be about right here. And this one needs to come a little flatter like that. I think that's going to be okay. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, always let me know what you think down in the comments. And then I'm going to try to cut this real careful. And as usual, attempt to not cut my finger off at the same time. And I'm just trying to pull it real smooth. In other words, just have a smooth curve here, because this is what we're going to use to transfer this shape to the tape. I think this is the way to do this. And we'll see what we've got. Okay. Look at it from this side. Do we like this? Needs to be got a little bulge right here. This is what's good about using plastic, is I can kind of shave, and I can even sand this if I need to. You can use, yeah, there we go. Kind of shape this template exactly how we want it. I want these to be nice and smooth. This is that's my main concern. You can see the drawings in the, I mean, it's nothing, it's nothing perfect by any means, So as far as perfectly proportioned, I guess I should say, but they are nice and smooth. So that's what I want. I want to make sure. I'm going to sand these down real nice and smooth. So when I draw it onto the tape, yeah, okay. And then now that'll give us, I think this is the way to go. That'll give us a template. Now when I find my tape, here we go. Now when we do the tape, hopefully that's not too loud in you guys' ears. Okay. I have the same template, so I can move that. You know, if you know what I mean, I can draw it right along this edge of this, which gives me a good template. And then when I flip it over, it'll give me the exact same, I'll have that exact same shape instead of me trying to use paper. I think this was the way to do this. You know, you know what I'm saying? So now we have the same shape on both sides. Okay, that's the theory. So I'm going to do this. I need to hold on to this because I think this is what we're going to use. So I'm going to go, and it won't write on there, but this is my template. I was going to write template on there. Here we go. I have no idea. I think that's how you spell template. All right, so that we don't lose that, I'll do it over again when I can be a little bit more exact. I'll let this body dry up till this evening. I'll do exactly what we were just doing. I think I'm definitely going to try to get the yellow painted. Or you know what I need to do first? Yeah, I probably should spray. Sorry, I'm looking at the picture over there. So the only darker pink that I think goes on the body is these scallops here. So I should probably get those. Yeah, you know what I should do? I should spray those in. These scallops here. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to spray these in, the darker pink. Because then once that dries up, so this is going to take some time. So hopefully we'll see what I can have done by tomorrow. Because I want to make sure that's nice and dry. Because what I'll do is I'll just tape over them. And then I can use the edge. You see there's that edge. To very carefully, with a sharp blade, trim the tape. And then, so to mask over. Does that make sense? I'm going to lay tape over top of this and then trim around and then pull the excess off. So then when I spray the yellow, the darker pink is already painted. And I don't have to spray. Yeah, that would be the way to do it. Yeah, and spray the yellow to the dark pink. And then because we're probably going to put a black line in there. Let me know what you think about that. So first thing I'm going to do, dark pink. Then I'll mask. Obviously, let the pink dry. I'll mask for yellow. Yep, mask for yellow and spray the yellow. And then, because everything from there will be just black. Yeah, so I'll come in and I'll be hand brushing, the black, the eyelashes and whatnot. That's a plan. That's a game plan. We'll see how it turns out. Check the YouTube shorts in the morning. I am going to have one definitely with the Mean Machine. I'm definitely going to spray this the correct color. And then I think I'm going to get this body together because I can, I might as well because I can do, what's on this? Okay, it's just dust. I can do these little silver marks. The rivets with the body together. And I do want to get this body together. I'm trying to just double check this. I might, you know what? Actually, before I do that, I think I'm going to I need to spray this edge blue. I don't want any of this edge showing. So I'm going to spray this edge blue. I'm going to spray the purple, whatever color it is. I'll let that dry up. Probably in the morning, I'll be able to get this together. Then I'll shoot a short with it so you can see it all together. So check the YouTube short tab. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you have any better ideas as far as getting this stuff painted. Trying to get everything off there. Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed this. If you want to keep up, hit the subscribe button. Check the playlist down in the description. Get caught up. Do all those things you do on YouTube. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.